Hi there, just thought I'd chat and walk. Just doing this. I'm going to record it on my GoPro as well. Just thought I'd do it till the phone battery dies. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Great people behind me. Hang on. Ugh. Just wait for people to pass. Might not be able to because they're behind me, but we'll see. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, move. That's it. We're just on the canal. Too late to go anywhere because it'll be dark soon. But it's probably going to get busy on here. Might have been a bad idea. I don't come here too often because I used to bring my mate's dog. Well, it was almost mine. And he died. It sort of brings back memories of him. And still. Oh, reception's now gone bad, so I don't know how well this will transmit anyway. It might disconnect. Let's just wait. Wait for people to pass. Oh, it's gone back again. Yeah, I used to bring Amigo here. He died the other year and it still breaks my heart, so I sort of don't come as much now. Anyway, it gets chaotic on here with bikes. Just thought I'd just chat as I'm walking the dogs. Nothing else to do. Trouble is, this time of year it gets dark early. And even now, I bet the camera, it might be, it's coming up to about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Cambodia. Grave. Yeah, we're just on the canal. It's the nicest. This is, for those who don't know, this is the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. I think it's one of the first. So a lot of canals in England are much wider, I think. I think if you go along far enough, it connects up to that one that's collapsed. I might be wrong. They all connect up, I think, but I don't know how it works. But I used to walk in here with, as I say, the Amigo, and she's doing a wee a lot because my mate lives. Oh, I can hear more people. This is annoying. I thought I'd be on my own down here. Oh, should have gone on the other side, but still. Great. Now my bag's squeaking. But tomorrow's supposed to be raining, so I just thought make the most of today. Just an hour with her, just to get the energy out. Met a massive dog earlier. She won't be impressed. Oh, there's rubbish in there. I suppose I haven't seen a canal boat. Normally they're chugging up and down here quite a bit. But maybe it's the weather. You see it more in summer. Anyway, the other two I normally film with are in London. I don't know how long they're staying. Not my thing. Don't see any point, to be honest. Don't know how much footage they've got. It's a long way to go. Just to do very, very little. Oh, there's a train now. Let's see. Whee. So I've left my bag at home. Didn't really need it. Quite light. Ugh. You won't think she just had a drink of water. No, it's used, although you can get, if you go further into Leeds, you do get some problems. Sometimes it's the idiots around that end. I might end up passing them late on the way back. My aim is to try and do the full length of the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. Might cycle it. I've seen people do it. I can always put one of the dogs in a bag and carry him. She ain't going to be able to run all the way. But it goes on miles. But this is a sort of quiet bit. But once you start going into Leeds City Centre, that's where I won't go up there too late at night. Hang on, I'll just wait for people to pass. Oh dear. Our transmission's bad. I'm probably going to have bad transmission all the time, so it's probably going to break up. But there's a few houses. See, I'm in these trees, so maybe once I come out the trees. Dun, 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 dun. That's gone wet and boggy. We'll just wait for people to pass. Otherwise, that's it. Dun, dun, dun. We'll just wait for people to pass. Ugh, God. She's got a loud mouth. Right, let's see if we can get better reception. Oh yeah, now I'm coming out the trees, the reception seems to be improved. I think it's when you're in trees, reception gets loud and louder. God, the amount of times I took Amigo down here. Well, there's no canal boats. I thought we'd see some. There we go. Oh, ducks. It's been a bit chaotic since the doodahs with the Quran burning in Manchester. I mean, I only found that out last minute. It was like someone said it on Twitter, and it was literally on the day, and I thought, well, there's nothing else to film, because there was a protest in Manchester, but it was on the bridge, and I thought, oh, that's as dull as anything. But I don't know. I'm suspicious if they've moved it there, because of this Quran thing, and they didn't want the hoo-ha, but I might be wrong. You know, that's my suspicion. Yeah, you could camp, but I wouldn't want to. I mean, you could camp over there, but unless it's summer, I wouldn't really bother. I mean, some people, camping's the dullest thing going. You just get bit and it's miserable. I mean, yeah, it's cheap, but I mean, you might as well just sleep in your car. Just make your car comfy. At least you've got a bit of warmth. I mean, I don't see the point of sitting in a tent all night, just cold and miserable. Most miserable experience going. I've tried it a few times. It's just rubbish. You know, I'd rather stay home. It's the last thing you want to do. I mean, you might as well, if you're into camping, just get a van and convert, you know. Oh, there's a dog. I mean, if you're into, you know what I mean, if you want to go camping, what you do is you get a big car, state car, or a small van, and then just put a nice comfy bed in the back, just a bit of your comfort. You don't need to put a proper one in. And then at least you're warm. Or warm, bit of privacy. And then you can put it anywhere you want. Yeah, the thought of going on a canal boat's nice, or a boat, but then you've got to pay. I mean, the problem with canal boats is every 4 years you've got to lift the damn things up, pay somebody to do that, and then paint the underneath. And then you've got your insurance on top, and then you've got to have your mooring fees and fees for this and just fees for sailing up and down. Even if you've got just a kayak, you've got to pay, I think it's about £15. That sort of covers like insurance or something. It's with a river trust or whatever they call themselves. But yeah, it's cheap, but hey. And then you've got all the idiots trying to break in. I mean, people break into things. I mean, it's like here, if you was here on a night, would you want to be with all the drunks walking past, especially in summer, jumping on your canal boat? I just can, and would you want to leave it? I mean, there's a nice thought of having a canal boat. If you're in London, I think it's worth it, but you know, you're better off staying at home with your parents. I mean, anyone who's got sense, just stay at home with your parents. Doesn't matter if you're 40, who cares? You know, I mean, people laugh at people who are still living at home with their parents when they're 40 or whatever, but why not? You know, you don't have to worry then about rent or anything. I mean, the other alternative is just get a second-hand caravan. They usually quite cheap, almost. Sometimes you can get them given to you, especially ones that are a bit knackered. Find some land that no one's bothered about and put it there. I mean, I was reading only yesterday how in London on Billionaires Road, all these lots that people pull down big, large, multi-million-pound houses and haven't bothered rebuilding. Well, if they're living abroad, you'd always put your caravan on the site, and you know, that's what I'd do. I'll just find some wasteland. In fact, I knew one guy. What he did was, this is going back a few years. He'd bought his house and he was renting it out, and he was living in a caravan on some industrial estate, because the guy on the industrial estate was paying him and quite happy for him to leave his caravan there, because on the night he acted as security and he was getting paid to do it. So he'd live, so he's making money from his house that he's renting out, plus he was getting paid just to stay in his little caravan on the night, and then during the day he used to do odd jobs. I mean, his diet was dreadful. One of his jobs was delivering pizzas, and that's all he ever lived off. Pizzas every single night. I mean, his dad, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't keel over, but yeah. And there was another bloke, his plan was I think a few people have been offered to live on site on like industrial estates and factories and things, because, you know what I mean, they'll give them, maybe even if they let them live just rent free, people are happy to do that. In exchange, they're looking after the property on the night, and there's quite a few actually just cash in hand, or maybe even pay legit, but I mean, it's expensive, the minimum wage. See, they just pay them just a few pounds, and you know, put your caravan, as long as you don't mind living in an industrial estate. I mean, it's a bit, you know, I mean, if you're smart, you could put a few pot plants around your caravan and make it nice, and you can almost forget you're on an industrial estate. I mean, the thing was, he'd even bought a little pup. I always get the two confused, Rottweiler, Doberman, I can never remember, it's the one that's a bigger one. And you say they were quite pleased, because as far as they were concerned, he had his own security dog. I mean, it wouldn't be much of one, it was as soft as anything, but I mean, no one's going to risk it, seeing a massive dog that looks like the Hound of the Baskervilles coming towards you, or out of the fence. But see, that's what you do. If I was homeless, that's what I'd do. You know, just go around all the factories and things and just say, look, you know, especially the empty ones, I'll look after it on a night. Just let me live rent free, or give me a couple of quid for food. And everyone's happy. They've got somebody, I mean, obviously you have to trust the guy or woman, I should say, a bit sexist. Although, I was going to say most people homeless are male, but I think that's untrue these days. I can hear something in there. Is it a bird? I think it's a bird. Oh, it'll be nesting season soon, I'm guessing. I saw some, what do you call them? Spring bulbs popping up as I was walking. There's another train. It's nice, these spring bulbs. Always cheery. What is it, only February? I can't remember what normally they come up as, but today's quite warm. As I'm doing this, I've got a jumper on. I bet I could get away with shorts soon. Probably could have done today. I mean, once the light goes, it gets cold, but oops. That's it. Oh, cheers. Although I don't class myself as a patriot, I'm neutral on everything, really. Well, I'll try to be. You know, I mean, I try and be fair to both sides. It's just, I just get annoyed that people on the left refuse to listen and chat to people, and they're causing more aggro than anything. I mean, it's like all these protests. I wish the people on the left would actually go up and chat. There's no reason for it. I mean, it was like, it's not my thing going down to these protests in London, but what was, you got all these unions and stuff boasting, going, oh, we're going down to protest, and gosh, aren't we so superior to everyone, because the moment we turn up, obviously it's going to change everyone's minds. Well, it's just nonsense. And all it's doing is pushing people further to the extreme groups who claim that they listen, which maybe they do, but that's my aggravation. And the fact that I think a lot of times they're fairly fake at it. They'll stand there going, oh, we believe in full immigration, blah, blah, blah. I bet they don't. I mean, I've no problem with it. I mean, I don't have a view, really. It doesn't affect me. I mean, I've always, if you've committed crime, that's it. That to me is, that I don't think that's unreasonable to say. If somebody comes and commits a serious, but it may be, obviously dropping litter or something, that's irrelevant. But, when you hear people committing serious crimes, I mean, it's like in America where, a lot of people have committed serious crimes and they're the ones that are getting deported. Well, you'd have thought even the left wing would have actually agreed to that. It's bizarre they haven't, but that's how crazy the world is. I mean, you'd have thought, even the most extreme left wing politician would have had that policy, and instead they've given the election straight to Trump by doing that. I mean, anybody would have won the election by just saying, look, we're just going to get rid of all the criminals. It's not difficult. But still. Dear. Hello. Hello, sweetie. Hello. Hello, sis. I think it's just a pup. Come on then. Oh God, people are coming. I can't believe I haven't seen any boats. Oh dear. Don't know how the light's going. The light's going down, I'm guessing. What the heck's that? Oh, it's there. I see moaning about. I just eating. Looks young. Ugh. Yep, the sun's definitely going down. Just wait for these people to pass. It's a bit annoying, they just stood there. Don't know why. Oh God. I'll sod it. If they're not going to move, I'll have to go down. And I'll put the camera down. Dun, 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 dun. Shh. Hey, hey. The sun looks like it's starting to set. This is a sort of semi experiment as well. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, I know that is a skill, but I never... Oh, I think that might be the... I don't know if that's the one that I always see the kids annoying me at when you're driving around the ring road. I might be thinking of a different one. It can't be because it's too far back. I used to go to John Smith and they've pulled it down now. That was weird. Seeing your old skill pulled down, I never realised they pulled it down. I thought, oh, I'll wonder what it looks like now. I think I went last year and it's like an academy thing now. It was a dump earlier. No, the building was a dump. It was just... Some idiots went. Yeah. Oh God, there's loads of people around. I thought they'd be dead. Oh, there's cyclists now. I should have gone the other side. Normally, if you go that side, there's cows and stuff that suddenly pop down, but I can't see any, so maybe there isn't now. Tell you something, this path's a lot better. Wasn't that long ago this was really off to cycle on. It was like the worst thing going. It used to feel like you were cycling miles, but they've sort of done it up. They spent a fortune on the paths. Is that horse there? Yeah, little horse on his own, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah. At least he's got the whole field. There's people still at the school, I can hear them. Don't know if they're playing football. Hey. Oh, time flies, doesn't it? I think I left school in late 90s, but I can't remember what year I left. I still think I'm 18. When I see people from school, it's weird to me. They're just old people. I have a shock. I forget. I just look at them and go, there's no way I went to school with them. They're so old. I mean, they're all, oh, I'm ill, oh. And that's all they do. Oh, I can't be bothered with it. That's why I don't keep in touch with. There's only one person, well, two, I keep in touch with from school. There's a third I should do. It's just the distance. Not that it's far away, it's only a few miles, but I don't drink, you see. I don't go to the pubs, so it's like, I can't be bothered. And then they always say, I'll come to the pub, and I go, no, I can't be arsed. It's just not my thing. And it's like, I mean, I'll tell you where I used to work, you might know. Yeah, it sounds like they're practicing, but I can't say anyone. If you know the cinema in Leeds, it was the ABC, or I think at one point it was Virgin, and they've changed ABC, a Canon as well. I used to work there. If you ever went there, you'd recognise me. So I were there years. I used to have the blackness micro on it was golden, but I painted it black, and I put on night rider lights and a talking alarm. So if you ever went to that cinema, I was working there. I used to love that job, except on a Saturday, because Saturday mornings the kids would buy bomb sweets and chuck them at me. I used to complain about that. They used to use them as weapons. But then it was quite cool. It was the easiest job going because you only did half an hour. Then you had the day to yourself. and then you just watch films all day. It was good when they had new films on. I do miss it. It's a shame they pulled the building down, and they've never replaced it with anything, which is disgusting. And next door was a pizza place. I don't know if it's still there. Before that, it was my nan used to go there regular. It was a place called Volans or something. They did, it was this really lovely old shop, really old-fashioned, like World War II. Probably haven't changed since World War II. And they used to sell like what do you call it? Material to make, you know, clothes and things. Volans, I forget the name, but because my gran used to make loose covers, she was there all the time. Hello. Oh, two little pups there. Saying transmission's bad again. It's because I'm going under trees. Still. Yeah, I remember doing after school sport. I hated it. See, back then it's changed. I never understand the system now. When I was at school, it was primary school, middle school and high school, but I think they've changed that now. And when I was in middle school, hang on, just wait for someone to pass. When I was in middle school, we did rugby, and we was even trained by, well, I don't know anything about rugby teams. One of the rugby teams in Leeds, whatever they call themselves, I don't know if it was rugby league or union, again I have no idea. And because of that, they forced me to do rugby. I quit that. I hated it. Rolling around in the cold in winter. There's more people coming. Yeah, can't be bothered with sport. Oh look, that bench is new. Some parks have millions of these things. Let's see. Spiggy. He died, didn't he? He wasn't that old, was he? Grandad. 1960s. Old. Well, in my mind, he's not that old, but I suppose he was about 70. Oh, hang on, well, hold on. No, actually, if he was born in the 1960, it'd be about 64, would he? God, that doesn't seem very old. I haven't thought about having kids yet. It's weird when people, you know, I mean, that's the other thing about all my friends. They're all grandparents. I'm going, oh my God. I'm still too young. Way too young to consider that. Wait till I'm 70 and I might consider settling down. Ugh. Oh, that's it. Leeds rhinos. Yeah. I shouldn't be rude to them, but there was a girl from school who, when I was there, I always thought she was a bit up herself. She thought she was going to marry George Michael when we was at school. And she married some bloke and she's into rugby now. She doesn't seem the type. I laugh, she hasn't talked to me since. None of them talk to me from school because I mock them. Hang on. Hey. Yeah. Ugh, I couldn't stand playing rugby. It was just cold rolling around in the cold. Don't see any attraction to it. There's the dog there. And it's no fun for me. I mean, I don't know why they always insist on playing sports in winter. See, I wouldn't have a clue. If anyone walked past me who's a Leeds United player or any football player or rugby player, I wouldn't have a clue. In fact, to be honest, I wouldn't have a clue if they were pop stars. I mean, in fact, I don't even know if the YouTubers. Every time we go out, people say, "Oh, that's that YouTuber who's." I know, I have no idea. That I've got to recognise one or two, but oh look, there you go. Some canal boats. There's always a few here. Sometimes you have that nice smell of the coal, although with that blast, I think that's probably going to be outlawed. These were farmhouses converted. Took them ages to convert. I bet they're expensive. Transmission saying it's bad again. There we go. Oops. I'm just a bit nervous in case when the cyclists run into the dogs. Transmission's still bad. So I don't know if you see anything that might be all breaking up. I'm doing this on the GoPro as well, but I'm not sure if I've got the mic in front, so that's why it's a bit of an experiment. I can see later, because I could do this. So there's a mic on the GoPro, but it's a bit low down, and so I'm trying to do the sound separate, just for a bit of better quality. I mean, if the mic, this thing I'm recording doesn't work, at least I still should have the sound on the GoPro. But them ducks there, or is it my imagination? Oh, it's my imagination. I saw them buildings being built. I think on those there's a lot of them now, and this is why I won't buy brand new. Well, I mean, I can't afford anything anyway. I've got £2 in the bank. But if I was buying a house, most of these modern ones, I think I've just got concrete blocks on the inside and these fake bricks on the outside. And after so many years, you see some of these modern ones start cracking. And you'd have thought, although actually they've got nice balconies. Sorry. See, them two have got nice balconies, but you know, if you're going to build these, you'd have built them with lovely balconies, wouldn't you? I mean, I suppose there are sort of balconies there by the looks of it, but you know, if you're going to live on the canal, you'd want to walk out. That's what I don't get with these modern builds, why they're building without really nice balconies, so that in summer you can just sit out and it's nice, rather than just open the window. I mean, some of them got balconies, so I don't know why the others haven't. Oops. Looks like someone's near us, the dogs. Oh no. Yeah, it's nice. I used to walk this a lot with my mate's dog. Well, it was almost mine, Amigo. But I think it was 2 years ago, I think it died. No, it might be longer now. It was when it was the height of the COVID. Worst day of my life, taking him to be put down. Boy, did I love that dog. But we used to come on here all the time. What? So I'd pick him up from my mates, and then she'd do the she'd be vacuuming and stuff. So I'd bring Amigo Dottie and Millie and Sandy. Oh God, Sandy then, she died recently, didn't she, poor thing? God dear, I must have had 4 dogs at one point. Jeez. And then we just run, throw the ball from, and then there's a field round here. They'd have a run in and we go back. And then by then, I think I should have me getting stuff from Asda. There's an Asda not far around. Oh, that was a nightmare. Oh, God. Glad she's moved. Pigeons. Oh, they'll be having babies soon. Unless they've had them now. Yeah, if you walk into Leeds, it gets a bit dodgy. That's where it's a bit weird. During the day, it's fine, but I won't do it when the light goes. Once, years ago, I was walking further up here, and this little kid, it was a school day. She should have been in school. She was about 12, with this lad who was about 9, I'd imagine. And they were throwing rocks at a dead hedgehog floating. And they turned to me and says, "Oh, mister, we're throwing rocks at this dead hedgehog," as if I was going to join in. I was sarcastic and went, "Oh, that's nice." And she turned on me and I thought, oh God, I'm going to get beaten up by a 12-year-old. I went miles that day to avoid her. But that was further up there. So if you go far enough, there's like works where they do the sewage. It smells yuck. I don't think I'll be going that far today. So this is where I used to bring the dogs. This would be, I'd let them have a run on there and then we'd just walk back again. Oops. Transmission's bad again. Still. I think it's these trees. Just wait for people to pass. So it's nice to go on there with the dogs, but it's a bit muddy this time of year. So all these are new buildings, I think. So look at the size of that balcony is there. Isn't that very big? I mean, I bet they cost a fortune, and you know, they'd be nice if you had a nice big balcony. I mean, I suppose that does have a balcony, but you want a massive one, so you can almost, you know, be over the top of the canal in some ways. The sun's going down. Oh dear. Still got a cold. I was sniffing badly in the other last 2 beds. Didn't even realise. Yeah, I planned to go somewhere else today, but I thought that'll be too late. Oh, there's like a parking spot here for canal boats. That looks brand new. Looks like they just painted it, unless it is a brand new boat. Oops. Cyclists. Some of them think they're right of way, they don't. I had a bloke nearly come off his bike. Hang on. This is where I'd bring Amigo. Let him run in there and swim. I think. And 5 minutes. Allen boats. Ooh, hang on, just going to go straight to the thing this so. Sorry, oh, it's gone. Oh, it's getting dark, so hang on. Hello. Here's the pup. Camilla, don't know the pups. We'll just head back now. I could go further. My plan is to do it in summer. Probably come down on a bike or something. Put her in the bag. So I shouldn't have to run. Although she used to be able to. Well, you see how the plants are coming out. You see, spring. It's nice out. The daffodils are coming out. I think they're coming out quite early. I'm not sure if they normally come out this time of year. But yeah, it'll be dark by the time I get back. Still, yeah, I know. That's only the downside living here. Some might like England, although then it gets too hot. See, for me, winter's basically you get winter's dark, depressing, cold, and then as soon as it gets to spring and it gets lighter, then I have months of getting bitten by insects. So I can never win. I just lay there on the night getting bitten. So it's, you go, oh, whoopie-doo, it's great, now the weather's come. Oh, it's either too hot. It's either too hot or too cold. No, it's raining. Although last year it seemed to do nothing but rain. Every time I did a video, it was raining. Although the year's flown because, I tell you what shocked me, and it only seems a few months ago, and I thought, oh, it can't be so quick, is that, in America where they do that Groundhog Day, and they pull the oh, there's an ambulance. They pull the groundhog out the hut, and it tells you if it's still going to be winter or not. God, that only seems like a few months ago. It just flies. Oh, dear. That looks like a converted mill or something. There's some nice buildings in Huddersfield which I just left empty. But some have been converted. If you ever go to Huddersfield, they're nice. I went in one there. A few people have now got flats there. Amazing inside. Bet that's stunning inside. So it'll all be all the industrial stuff. Unless that is a new building. I'm not sure. That looks like I don't know if that is. I don't know. It looks like it's an original building. I mean, the one my mate's at, they're on the river, and she's got a massive balcony You can climb out. The view ain't special, but because she's sort of side on to it. But it's mental where she is there. You got Huddersfield, there's loads of these big buildings, and I think half of them are left just to rot, which is a shame. They're the prettiest ones. Look at that. I bet that's lovely inside there. Except they don't have balconies on it, which is a shame. You think that, but they might not be able to. They have to have planning permission, don't they, and all this. See up there, that's quite a nice view. They've got a balcony. It's like a penthouse suite. Doing a wee. Rotty dog. Yeah, you see the beauty of when it gets lighter is I can go to places on film. Even, I mean, you see at the moment, I'm lazy, so by the time I get up, you know, I wake up about 9, and then it takes me now to you know, basically properly wake up and then get ready, and then by then it's like I've got to walk the dogs, and then, so before you know it, it's 1 o'clock. Like today, I planned to come out early, but by the time I messed around, it was 2 o'clock, and I thought, by the time I get anywhere, it's going to be dark, so I just thought I'll just go on the canal. And the traffic were dreadful doing that as well. I think they're doing roadworks. They're always doing roadworks on that damn ring road. Oh, I've got hiccups. Yeah, spring and summer's nice. There's nothing worse. I mean, the worst time is the end of the kids' holidays, because then it's winter. It's the depressing time. It's when they go on holiday, I go, oh no, in about 4 or 5 weeks, it's going to be winter. And I hate when the kids are on holiday as well, because they're just annoying. Oops. Right. Cheers. Oh, look. Dogfest, what's that? Bit of advertising. Harewood House, September, October, November. Oh, it's been, hasn't it? Oh, that's a long time ago. I was working out when it was. It's September. There we go. Oh, transmission bad, probably because I've gone on the bridge. What is it? I'll have to look that up, what it was. The ultimate day out for you and your dog. That's a shame. Might have been better. Expect everything costs a fortune now. I mean, that's shocking going. I mean, it's like going to some of the supermarkets. It's like £4 or £5 for a box of breakfast cereal. It's insane. And people pay it. I can't believe people can, you know. I mean, I used to think people were crazy when they used to spend £40 or £50 years ago. Now people are probably spending that a day. Although my mate spends, I mean, she spends more on Ember, Black Labrador, than I think I do in a month on food. And all she does is wash it down. I said that to her the other day. I says, you know, you're spending all this money on the most expensive food, and she just go whoosh and it's gone. I don't think she even notices. And half the time she will eat anything off the ground anyway. I think she had tummy ache the other day. I was supposed to go take her out, the dog's out tomorrow, but I said it's raining, so we've cancelled that for another day. No point going out in the rain. although it's not as bad as it was. Yeah, I always go to Aldi, to be honest. My mate's snobby. Oh, I'm not going to Aldi. Oh, I'm off to Sainsbury's. I like Aldi. That's the only place I go to now. Hey, hello. Yeah, I'm a bit of an Aldi expert. It used to be a bit naff. But you know what I like about Aldi now is the self-service, because then you're not rushed through. Because that's the bit that always put me off, was being rushed through, because you have to throw everything in your bag as quick as you can. But I like the self-service. You can just relax and take your time. But although I upset my mate, you see, she goes to Sainsbury's. This is what happens. She uses these machines where you scan everything as you put it in the bag, in your basket. But because she's chatting all the time, she forgets half the stuff. So when we go to pay, we end up with security coming rushing down because she hasn't scanned half the items. It's well embarrassing. I stand there embarrassed, and I keep saying to her, just don't bother with the sales thing, because we end up being longer. I don't know, she got in her head we're going to be quicker, but we spend then another half hour waiting for security to scan everything and rescan everything and check we're not on the pinch, and then you've got everyone watching us. It's great and fun, that. Most embarrassing. Oh dear. Yeah, self-service, lovely at Aldi. But they don't always have them. You've got to go to... Some of the Aldis don't have them. So you've got to know which ones do. And some of the Aldis are nicer than others. And it's finding everything. You get used to one Aldi and then you go looking for stuff. And they've got it in different places. Cheers. See, for me it's quite good because a lot of the sweets are vegan at Aldi. Not the others don't bother as much, but Aldi's quite good on that. Being a bit of a vegetarian as I am, well, not a bit of one I am, but they've got some nice sweets and they are vegan. Because the trouble with a lot of sweets is you think they're vegan and it turns out they're not, or vegetarian, and they're not. Yeah. But it is so much cheaper at Aldi. My mate got upset. I think, is it Sainsbury's? Yeah, and she's got all worked up over this milk thing, although you don't hear about it now. Forget what it is, that area or whatever. Because most normal, if you go and look at, sure I've done it in a video, if you look at the bottom of a lot of milk, it'll actually say it's made by that area firm or whatever it's called. I couldn't care less. But my mate's always stresses out everything. She gets all worked up, so everything's like, she panics, even though she smokes. She smokes like a trooper, but then worries about the most oddest things. And you go, but you smoke. And it's... She's trying to convince me that she's got some illness when it is clearly smoking. Can't smell any coal. Normally you smell coal from these. See, the ones on that canal, that's I think they were panicking because they're not designed to sit unless it's flat surface. So when that canal thing went, and the bottom one's perfectly flat. These things can really be damaged, completely written off, I think. They're nice, but I won't fancy one. I mean, it's alright if you've got it permanently there, but, you know. Oh, I can smell coal now. I mean, there is some niceness when you're going along and it's summer, but if you're retired, I think they're ideal, where you don't have to wear her. You can just move around the country. You know, if you've got a nice house and you've sold up, and buy one of these, and then you just spend all your life just going up and down, you're probably quite healthy as well. Keeps you fit. I mean, they're good actually for YouTube vids. People have got these. Almost makes it worth buying. Invest in one of these, then just do YouTube vids. So a lot of people who do them get a huge amount of views. It's like the guy who's doing the the kid. It's like the bloke who's doing who's on the canal where it's collapsed. I mean, on one of his vids, he's got 1 million views. Well, I mean, he's paid for the now about, I'd imagine, on that single video. Makes me laugh. And plus, people are donating money and stuff to him. I don't think they realise how much he must be making on them videos. Actually, it's not doing too bad for light and battery. I don't know how much battery I've got left, but it ain't warm. Used to come down here in winter. It's quite nice, and in the rain. It's nice in the rain down here. Nice to see it hitting the ground, but I mean, I have walked for miles on there. Best to come on a bike. There you go. How much further? I've seen people do the whole way on YouTube, or they've claimed to cycled it from Leeds to Liverpool all in one day. It's just getting back. So obviously you can't, unless you got a fold up back, you can't put it on the get a cheap bus. So you'd have to get the train, which ain't going to be cheap. Hi there. Oh dear. We're just walking back. The light's going. Oh dear. There's quite a few people around. You feel a bit silly talking to a phone. People think you're nuts. Human. God, it's weird when you realise people watching around the world. Hey. If you're watching, this is Leeds in the UK. It's the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, for anyone watching, wondering where we are. Oops. That train there. We're basically pointing the direction of Leeds now. It's probably about an hour, 2 hours walking to Leeds. Those aren't particularly suitable for running in, are they? She's going to get sore feet in those shoes. There we go. Thought she might have just been running past Millie, to be fair. I don't think she's running far. You want trainers on if you're going to be running. Oh, I'll tell you why. My feet are killing. I walk in the path, but my feet are killing. So walking in the grass is more comfortable. In fact, I'm back on the grass again. So they're not really, you see, they're not really running out. They're not proper train. Well, they are trainers, but they're only like cost a tenner. I'm a bit knackered now. I've had them almost 6 months. I suppose they've lasted. Normally they fall apart quickly, but I wear them out till there's holes in or something falls off. But recently they've been quite good. They used to be the cheap ones from Amazon, used to fall apart quick. The backs would break, or they'd split, or the bottoms would worn through, or the padding inside would be worn through. But last few I've got, there's one brand I forget. They really last forever, but they usually have to buy them when they're on offer. Yeah, my feet are worn out. I think I've got a blister. What was it from? Where did it go? Oh, I think it's because what was I filming the other day around Manchester, and then I probably got a stone in my foot. I'm too lazy to take it out. Oh God, hang on, is it going to get 1 second? Oh, it's alright, just wait in case. There we go.
Hello mate, it's just one of them things, isn't it?
I think I'm okay. She's a girl. Normally when you have trouble, it's when you've got a male dog. But I don't think they feel threatened by her. And there's more horse in them fields. Don't know where that train's going. I'm guessing that's off to Manchester or Huddersfield first. If you ever go from Leeds to Huddersfield, be careful. There's one train and it goes to every single spot. Every spot. It's like a converted bus. Well, it is a converted bus. They're famous. It's alright if you're only going a couple of stops, but there's nothing worse getting on than realising you've got the slow one and then you see the fast train pass you. Oh, it used to drive me nuts, that did. Every single spot, top spot. Oh, sounds like they're practising spots over there, screaming, annoying me. Yeah, I think people do wave at the canal boats. I often do. Most of the people on holiday rent them out and they wave at you. Especially if they've got a dog. They're the nicer ones who are on the canal boats. If they've got a dog, sometimes they've got cats. It's often more or less dogs. As they go past, they wave. I think it's because obviously I've got a dog, or 2 dogs, or sometimes 4. But I think it's because it's the time of year they're not moving them. If I do this in summer, there'll be canal boats going up and down, up and down, up and down. But it's that annoying thing about yanking up and down in the lock, which apparently is why that one, that collapse was a problem, because it was designed without any locks, so they couldn't shut the water off properly. So in theory, normally they'd just let the section, locked it off with the locks, and they'd have no problems, but yeah, that slow train, oh dear. If you ever want to know the tortures going on that stupid train and knowing you're having to stop at every single stop. Although if you ever go to Huddersfield, come out there, it's nice. I always like the train station at Huddersfield, it's pretty. And there's a statue of, I forget, he used to be Prime Minister. What's his name? Labour guy, wore a Big Mac. Oh. Yeah, would wave up if there was someone there, but you might see somebody. I mean, normally down there's canal boats, but I think it's the time of year. So in theory, quite a few people said they've gone on the ones that are on that collapsed canal boat. By the way, this is all owned by Canal Trust or something, but the one that collapsed is private, so it's completely different setup. So, hey, I think everyone's coming home from work now. That's Edward Heath. There's a statue of him outside, and although I think it's getting common now, but I think they're doing it everywhere where you go out and it's fountains. But I think every town's sort of copied that idea now. Ugh, how annoying them kids are. Ugh. Doing my head in. Sounds like they're playing football there. Ugh. They'll all be thinking they're going to make a fortune being football players, and if any of them do. Still. Apparently I didn't realise until recently, if you go to Harrogate, although it's no longer, it was the England manager who lived in this creepy house. If you go around the water there's like a couple of canals, not canals, whatever they call them, where you store water for people to drink. His house was up there. I used to walk. I didn't realise. I just thought it was just an office block. It's a blast nearly fell then. It's a creepy house, and I bet it's cold on the night. So it's really high up there. And when you walk the dogs up there, you're freezing. And someone says, "Oh, that's the England manager's house." I mean, I know it ain't now, but it was back then. And I just thought everyone who worked for Yorkshire Water had fancy cars, because you see all these real expensive cars coming and going. I'm guessing I don't think they were the football players. I'm guessing they were the FA staff or whatever. I mean, it must be quite a drive. Well, I mean, I don't know where they'd live, but oh, it's getting the transmissions banned again. Yeah, reservoir. I'm dyslexic. I've got the worst memory going. You can hear a bird in the tree. It's getting dark, although it's doing quite well on this. The other day it was quite... I find the live stream is much darker than normal. If I film on a normal camera, you can almost film in pitch black, but I don't know if it's something to do with doing live stream. I saw someone else doing a live stream in the dark in London. I knew it was now Yorkshire, I think it was. And it was really dark, and I thought, his phone's really expensive. I mean, this is just a reconditioned phone I use. That way, if someone does break it, it's not the end of the world. I mean, I'd be still annoyed. But it ain't cost me, I think, about 60 quid. It's lasted. One of them little marker things. It's worn out. Oh, saying low battery, so I'll give it a few more minutes. Hang on. Yeah, that's it. It's Taylor's Abroad. Oh, you have a look how many views they're getting. I've done a few canal vids, get nothing. I went down thinking, oh, if they're getting 1 million views, I might get 20 or 30,000. I got nothing out of it. I've been several times. I even filmed them. If you look on one of their vids, you'll see me walking along the canal because they're using their drone filming. So I'm filming, and I'm just going to put a battery on. Let's see if there's power on this. Yeah. Let's see. Is that done? Don't know if that's work charging. If it turns off, it's the battery. But yeah, I went past their boat. It took me a while to work out which was theirs. I was going to go today, but I thought by the time I get there, it's going to be pitch black. And it's that side of Manchester's so and so to get to. It's a weird little drive, and I keep going past it wrong. But it's easy to, if you go, it's easy to park up. But yeah, they made a fortune. You look, you won't work out how much they've made. That video alone, 1 million views. Well, that's you've got to work out, give or take. They'll make for every 1,000 views, about £5, give or take. And obviously it depends on length of vid and stuff, but you know, I bet people watch all the way through, so they'll max out. And that's why they're pumping out a video almost every day. Well, every day. And then they've got the people paying them money, because I keep saying, I think they do buy me a coffee or something, or whatever, and subscribers, so they'll be making even more than that. I mean, that canal boat must have been paid for over and over. And then they keep saying, oh, you can send us some money. That's a bit that irritates me about them, when they're saying to people, send me cash, when they're clearly making a fortune. You know, I think they could fund, I mean, they could, I don't know. I'd love to know how much they're raking in. So, I mean, they're, even in months to come, or years to come, they might, you know, they're going to now make a fortune for years. You just need the break, one video to take off. I mean, I don't know if I'm shadow banned, because I thought that video of the Quran thing would have taken off, but that's only like 2,000 views, so I've just accepted that it's never going to go wild, even though everyone's posting comments and stuff, which in theory should have pushed it up, but yeah, it's doing all right on Twitter. But the trouble is, everyone's pirating it, but there's no what you can do. Not much point. Hang on, just let people pass. Hello. Oh. I bet 1.2 million views is a lot more than 600. I might be wrong. I'm terrible with maths though. Yeah, exactly, 5,000 plus, that's ongoing, and they're pumping out a video every day. You know what I mean? That's what you've got to realise. I mean, that, you know, in 10 years, that video still, that one that's got 1 million, could still have views, people going on. I mean, that could increase to 10 million. I mean, you look at some videos from 10 years ago, they've got like 10, maybe 20 million views. You're laughing. That's why I tell people do a YouTube channel, because if it takes off, you're laughing. But then again, you don't know it. I mean, tomorrow they could stop the ad revenue. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, people who make money on TikTok, they put all their eggs in that single basket, and when they make, said they were cancelling it, oh, they didn't have, because some of them were making £10,000 a day plus. And that's the thing. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. If you ever do on YouTube or anything, you make sure you go on, post the vids on as many social medias as you can. That way, if you do lose an account, it's not the end of the world. And play by the rules, that's the other thing. A lot of people don't play by the rules, and they think that they're cocky and think nothing will happen, and then they just end up losing their account. That's why, you know, it's why I don't do like use people's content too much. Oops, sorry. Because people can do a copyright claim, and you lose. I mean, people have done. No, you basically, what you're looking at is give or take, and it can depend on what your content is. It's about £5 for every 1,000 views, but it depends on the content. So I think if it's like about cars, you might get more. It's just see what adverts pop up. So if you're like talking about EVs, I think you get paid a bit more. And then what a lot do, and I wouldn't do this because I think it's naff, but I mean it's up to them. But I think it annoys viewers is some then do product placement, so they'll either be given a product free, or they'll be paid by a firm to, you know, do a product review. Now they'll always say, "Oh, I'm going to be independent," but how can you be independent? Because there's no way. If you slate a company product, the next business ain't going to give you the product, so they blag it. So they'll just find every benefit of a product. So they're already biased, even if they're claiming they're not. It's very difficult not to be. And the trouble is, every time you see people who do it, people get sick of it. So I thought, whatever, I'm never going to do that. If I buy something, if I ever do anything, it's something I've bought and I'm using. Like I thought the other day, I probably won't have time. I was in Alden. They've got my mate's got a bump in a car, and there was a kit for £8. So I thought I might do a video if I get a chance. I think it'll be pitch black by the time I get to hers, and I don't think it'll work on hers because hers is this Ford car, and the metal's like tank metal. I mean, on my little thing, it's thin as, I mean, it's basically, you can put your finger through the metal, it's that thin. But on hers, it's solid. Oh, is that some birds? Oh no, it's ducks. But there's, for me, it's just pointless. Because I think it annoys people. Oh, they do them adverts. I mean, the worst thing I hate is where they'll halfway through and say, "Oh, I use so-and-so," and it's so phony. And you're going, oh God, and it's all these big channels, but they get sucked in because, you know, suddenly they've offered thousands of pounds to just put an advert in the thing, and to me it's naff. It's, you know, and a lot of them been burnt. It was like when they did the Scottish thing a few years ago, where it was saying, "Oh, sign up and you can be a lord" or something, and that turned out to be not correct. Hang on. And they all got burnt on that. She's friendly, don't worry.
Don't worry, it's just mine are a bit drunk.
Oh, don't worry. If they're funny with it, sure.
Say hi to Dad.
She's a...
Stay, wait.
Hello. Hello, sweetie.
Stunning.
Ignore if she snaps. She won't... No, don't
I
snap.
don't think it's
She
right.
won't bite. She just shows off. Everyone thinks she's being vicious, but she wants to be a thug. That's the thing. She doesn't like it when other dogs are a bit...
She's lovely.
Oh, she is a thug. She's a bully.
Oh, she's not. Look at her. She's lovely.
Oh no, wait. If yours had a ball, she'd just destroy it. She were born like that. Can you see it's deformed? Yeah, she were born like that, so she's never been bothered. But yeah, she's not as cute as she makes out. She's a thug. Yeah, ignore her. See what I mean? She's a little so-and-so. She won't bite, but she's... See you later. Millie, stop doing that. Oh, that signal's getting bad. Hang on. Oh, we're getting back. If one toes the line, they get paid more regarding... Yeah, well, no, it's whatever. I think it's... I don't think it's that. I think it's that if you talk about something that... So it's like electric cars. The reason I think you get paid more, or even just normal cars, is because obviously you'll get what I think happens is YouTube, it's all AI. A lot of it's AI. It will work out that you're talking about electric cars, and electric cars companies will advertise or anything connected with cars. So, you know, if you go on a YouTube about electric cars, see what adverts pop up. There's a good chance it'll be more car related. So that's, you know, so that's why they do it. But what's also interesting is, if you look And I always find, this is what I say to people, don't panic about followers, because I've seen the channel, and you see this quite a lot, you'll see channels with like 1 million followers who get next to no views. There's a massive UK one, and they've got, they employ people. In fact, there's quite a few of these that employ, you know, they'll have several presenters. You look at the views, they'll be pulling in 2,000 or 3,000 views, and yet they'll have camera crew, proper editors, they're paying presenters, yeah, they're getting next to no views. Hello, Swan. That's why I just do my thing. I mean, I could go out and clickbait like mad, run around doing these hard editings, and it'd probably get me a lot, but it just wouldn't interest me. So I'm happy if, even if 10 people watch the vids, who cares? I just plod on. That's because in the past I have tried doing stuff, and when you're filming stuff that you're not interested in, you just get sick of it after a few months. And that's what a lot do. They just try and copy off others and get bored, and yeah. Hey. So, you know, I always say to people, if you're ever going to do YouTube or any of these type things, do something you're interested in, do it your own way. Don't worry about how other people do stuff. It's and that's the thing. Part of things that annoy people is, with me, is by others, is that because I just do my own thing, and they can't stand it that I just don't, you know, I'm just do stuff my own way. I just plod on, so I'm not bothered. I'm not interested in fame. I mean, if you notice, I don't even stick the camera on my face. Oh, she's doing a whoopsie. I couldn't care less about fame. I mean, a lot just, you know, I mean, a lot now, other people be walking around with a camera pointing at them. Well, you know, who wants to see my face? I mean, I have a horrible voice as it is. I mean, that's the only downside. I listen to my voice and, oh, God, but trouble is, you can't win. Some people moan that I'm talking, and others say, oh, we wish you'd talk more, so you can never win. But, and also, bizarrely, if someone points the camera at my face up, I'm easier not having the camera on me. I can chat and relax. I mean, I can do this all day. I mean, the reason I can do it all day was because I've said I worked at the cinema, and I got into the habit of annoying the assistant manager by just talking non-stop when he came out. So it was a way of getting back in the office. So I just do this non-stop. But yeah, there's the problem is, I don't think it's a case of towing the line. It's the trouble is, if a lot want to make money off free stuff, and so they've got no option to, you know, say oh, I've got this product, it's wonderful, blah blah blah. And they're not very good at. I mean, there's one or two are. There's that Asian guy who I think's really good at it. I forget his English. I've forgotten his name. You'd know him. You'll probably have seen him. He loves himself. But a lot of people, when you listen to them do reviews, they're not reviewers. And I think they make a right hash of things. And it's like, you know, it spoils the flow. They'll be doing maybe food reviews, or they'll go out and do food, and they're entertaining, and you know, that's fun. And then suddenly one day I'm doing a video on this electric bike, and it's so phony, and it just puts me off. And then they return and say, oh, people are moaning about me doing these, but what can I do? And I'm thinking, well, stop doing it. It just irritates people. Sure, you're going to make more money, but hang on. So I just do a mishmash of all sorts, whatever I feel like. So one day I'll be walking in the canal, and the next day I'll do a protest. Couldn't care less. But See, the trouble is, as well, is a lot of people panic. You see a lot of the auditors panic and they go round, you know, they do these rather than just being entertaining, because they're quite, you know, there's quite a few people who are good at it. They go round and they, you know, have a giggle with people and stuff. But others just go and they panic, and especially when they're new, they go up and annoy people and they try and get the managers to be wound up, and it just, you can tell. I mean, it's one thing, I mean, I wouldn't ever do that. If someone comes up and they're angry with me, fine, I film them. But it's not my thing to go up. I'd never go up to somebody and just annoy them, just because I don't think it's fair. You know. Because why, you know, sure, you're going to get views, but I'm not going to try and get somebody sacked just to make me a couple of, you know, £5. What's the point? But I've never done, I'm not interested in doing the auditing vids, to be honest. It just doesn't interest me. I mean, I've gone round buildings and stuff, but I'm not going up. Maybe you class them as auditing. It was like when that DJ audits got assaulted. I went back a few days late to film around the factory, but yeah, I just walked around and got bored and came home. And then I found the others. I can't remember if they'd gone before me or after. Quite a few went down. It was near Manchester, but no, it happened. I think they'd worked out to stay silent. I think most firms now have cottoned on. You just smile, and if somebody comes, in fact, when I go to the film sets, they all know what to do. They all smile and laugh. They go, we know what you're up to. Oops. It's getting dark now. Oops. So, hi.
Hi.
Oops. Yeah, I've watched quite a few of those vids. They do nice. I'll tell you what, they do nice, and he's good at it. I don't know if it's him or his brother, because I watched him. I walked past the other once when they were using the drone. I think it could be his brother, but it could be him. They do nice drone footage, because that's the thing. You know, you see, one of the things that is good is when people do the nice smooth drone footage on them, even the audit vids. It's the ones that just shake it all over. That just drives me nuts. There's a bloke in Leeds I was chatting to. No, he's from Bradford, sorry. And he ain't listened to me. He's got all the gear. He must have spent a fortune. He's got the top of the range drone, under the sort of legal, small one, but he's got an expensive one. He's got the Pro GoPro with all the gear, everything. And he just goes to place and does 2 minutes video drone footage. And I said, and he's got a nice voice. And I says, well, why don't you do 10 minutes and chat and do it smooth? And he said it was, but every video I've seen is still just doing 2 minutes. And it's just totally pointless.
Like little teddy bears and stuff.
She's friendly.
Hiya.
Hello. Oh, you're expensive. She was born like that.
Oh,
yeah,
she?
don't worry. If you look, it's deformed. Oh no, she's a thug. Now people think it until they see her in action. When she's stealing someone's ball. Yeah. Ignore if she starts snapping. She won't bite him, but she starts showing off. Little dog syndrome. She's just trying to work out if she can be a bully to him, that's all. It's not her being cute.
You're getting lucky.
Yeah.
Do you like her? Do you like her? Are you friends?
She used to be really flirty, but she's had the ops, so
Oh shit.
yeah, so there won't be. Yeah, she was terrible, but you'd think she was still on 8, but no. No, don't worry, she won't mind.
She just rolls about. again. You never
Oh
stop.
yeah, this is terrible. But it's just trying to work out. See you later. Come on then. Come on, Miller. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I tell you, it does come quick. It flies down. That's what's scary. You get caught out. I brought a torch anyway, just for emergencies. Hang on, make sure. I've probably forgotten it. Did that the other day. See what it's like. Hang on, where's my torch? Give up, Millie. Being a flirt, it's bad. Hang on, let's see what this torch, if it makes any difference. So I got some torches there and I've never used them. By the time I get around to it, it'll be summer, it'll be pointless. Hang on, let's see, does that make any difference? No, it's not that bright, is it? That other one I've got should be brighter. Hang on, let's see. It's a bit of a lag on here. No, it's not particularly bright, that, is it? I mean, I suppose it's better than nothing. Yeah, he does some nice videos on drone. And that's the thing, I mean, it's... that's what I keep saying to people. You know, get some nice drone footage. And the amount of people have got drones and they're just... You know, it's all over the place. It's... You know, you need to... See, I think it's because they get up and then they start moving the camera instead of just doing it smooth. I mean, this is... In some ways, this is trouble with drones. See, if it was a plane one or a helicopter, you'd have a smoother flow, and that's how you should, you know. If it were me, I think you'd keep the camera as much as possible from not moving. Just set it and then just fly and record, rather than just flying up and then stopping and then moving the camera, because it just spoils the flow. I mean, you don't have them nice sweeping shots you do with a plane. But that's the way you do it, if it were me. And I think that's how they do it. They keep the camera steady. Sometimes I think he's moved the camera, but you just keep it. I mean, you're flying it a lot. I mean, I don't think they have it in line of sight. When he was flying past me, could not see it. But I mean, on the canal, I suppose it doesn't matter. Worst thing you're going to do is, you know, land it in the water. But that's how you do it. You keep it nice and smooth. And you do see people, they're getting better and better. I mean, you know, I think it'd be too much to have one personally. Concentrate on doing one thing. See, if you're doing it really well, you'd have 2 or 3 of you. You'd have one person just doing the drone footage, then another filming. And that's the best way. Or maybe 2 people filming. But then sharing the footage. But you're seeing a lot of these people, they're getting more professional. I mean, it's like him who does the Rate My Takeaway. By the looks of it, he's got at least 3 people working, well, including himself. He's got the guy filming and then somebody editing. So you get the better footage. And I think that's how a lot are set up. I mean, even just seeing TikToks. I mean, I was the other day, you see them walking around town and there'll be somebody filming a woman and they're walking around chatting, and I have a little giggle watching them. But the other side of it is, and this is the problem the BBC and ITV have got, is that they're pumping out shows which they've got vast production costs. And nowadays they're getting less views than some YouTubers. I mean, some of the shows they have on TV are getting next to no views. Even the main soaps, I mean, they're ranking straight down. People have stopped watching them. And they're there, you know, makes me laugh when they do awards, because they're awarding themselves. And they go, oh gosh, aren't we all marvellous? And you're thinking, no one's watching you. And you see people, I mean, it was like I was chatting to Charlie Veitch. I think he does his editing on his phone. He doesn't even spend, you know, he's not even faffing about doing it, you know, going back and editing on a computer and spending hours. I think he does it straight at his phone and uploads what he was saying to me. That's why he gets his vids up very quick. I mean, some of them do. you'll see people who can film in one day, and the vid's up just a couple of hours later. Oops. So even they're not even spending. I mean, you look how many views he gets. I mean, you've got then someone like All or Nothing podcast, you know, Billy Moore. He's doing a video by the looks of it every single day. Now, I know some what they do is they'll film maybe 4 or 5 videos on a single day. They'll get up. Because some people work, you're thinking they're doing this full time, but they'll actually have a job during the week, and they'll go Saturday or something, or one day in the week, and they'll just literally get up. I couldn't do it, I'm too lazy. And they'll just film non-stop. So like the auditors, they'll do a full industrial estate all in one go, and then upload it of it. You know, they'll split. They'll do each play separately over each day. I couldn't be bothered. But by the looks of it, I think Billy Moore looks like he does. Goes out. He must do it every day. I wouldn't do it. It's dangerous where he goes to late at night. Oh, just dropped a tissue. I mean, you know, big credit to him for doing it. I wouldn't want to go places. I know he's a big fella, but he's not that tall. I mean, he's on his own by the looks of it. He puts himself at risk because, you know, it doesn't matter. You can be the biggest bloke going, but you come up with someone who's on drugs and they pull a knife on you. You know, you can be the toughest guy going. You know, that's why I think he's brave. I mean, some of them are crazy. They take so many risks. I don't. My mate moans. She goes, you never take any risks. I'm going, oh, sorry, I'm being stabbed for you. I mean, she'd love me to be stabbed on camera. Be quite entertaining for her. She's like, oh, he's been killed. She's always moaning I'm not being attacked. I'm sorry. Well, it is getting dark. Yeah. He does well, does Charlie Veitch. Plus, I think it does help being near Manchester. You go in there and everyone's protesting all the time. There's like 2 or 3, well, usually 3 protests on a Saturday. And they're massive. You go at Leeds, all right, you get the pro-Palestine one, but no one turns up for that. There's about maybe 30, 40 people, and there's nothing, you know, they're just, all right, they're abusive because the ones left now aren't particularly nice people by the looks of it. I mean, it used to be a lot friendly, Leeds, but yeah. Hang on, people are running. I think the trouble with Charlie Veitch is it's just finding things for him to go to. I mean, it's like, you go to Manchester, Liverpool and a few northern towns and nothing. I mean, one of the things about it at the moment is these protests have been handy for people because it's given people something to film. I mean, I've been quite lazy myself every Saturday. I used to do the Leeds one, and then maybe on a Wednesday they'd have the student one, but they've become, well, hostile and dull, and I've got bored with them. To the point I just can't be bothered. The Manchester ones are okay. You see, there's quite a lot of people go to the Manchester one, and a few others, but they are dying off by the looks of it, and they were dying off long before the ceasefire. I mean, in Leeds, you see in Leeds and quite a few other, well, basically all the uni ones, they all had these campsites and they claimed they were going to be there non-stop, but as soon as the holidays kicked in, literally they cleared off. I mean, Leeds had a massive, well, it wasn't a massive, they had a tiny campsite and they claimed they were going to come back in September. I think the post's still up on their Facebook page, no Instagram page. I looked a few weeks ago and it was still there, but maybe they've removed it. And they claim they're going to come back and camp out, and they never have done. And they all claim that, but as soon as holidays kicked in, They were just something to do. They didn't believe in the Palestine thing at all. They were phoners. And they've got a bit upset with me, especially in York. They all kicked off in York because I went down and they all tried to make out they were victims, even though they came up to me and I just sat there and they started saying I should be thrown in the sea to drown, and they were really abusive and they jumped in front of me laughing, and you could tell they weren't interested in the Palestinian thing, and they just went mental, and I pointed out the way they were acting were quite fascist. But they tried to make out they're the victim. Unfortunately, I'd filmed everything and it was live, so that people could see. And then they tried. A few weeks later, we went back, and again they were abusive and tried to play victimhood and crying to security. Why? Why cry? You're not doing a protest. You should be proud of it, but they're not interested. It was just a game for them. They were laughing and they've made fools of themselves, and they've all done it. They said, oh, we're not, and you'll see this at a few, they've all gone, oh, we're not happy that you associate yourself with businesses connected with Israel. Well, then quit. If you're really genuine, you quit. And I said that to one of the women there. I said, well, why don't you just quit if you're not happy? And she told me to F off. Yeah, because it was just about, it was a day out. I mean, if they're really genuine, all these protesters would stop now and be flying out to Palestine or Gaza, whatever you call it, and helping rebuild, but not a single one will. It's like a lot in Leeds, a lot of the LGBT, or what they call themselves, claim that, oh, you can be gay and lesbian and trans in Gaza / Palestine. Well, then go. If you're genuine, go. But they won't. None of them believe in it. It was just a day out to him, and that's what irritated me. Yeah, he's had a lot of hassle as, which ones are we talking? Are we still talking about Charlie Veach? Yeah, they've had some right grief. A lot of them do. But you see, people have it in their heads that they think that you're allowed to say, and I can't believe people still believe this now. Don't film us, we've got rights. You don't in public. And it has to be public, and that's why you can sort of, the grey areas is like shops, but technically you're still open to the public. It's when it's things like pop concerts, that's not open to public because you've got to get a ticket. So in theory, you're not supposed to. I think if something happened, you're still allowed to, because the newsworthy thing overrides anything. But if say I was doing a photo shoot or something at somebody's house or filming them, in theory, well, you would do. You just get a model release form because you're actually in somebody's house. I'd do it by standard. A lot of people, if they're doing interviews, probably just do it word of mouth. But if it was me, that's why I won't film in someone's house, because you're supposed to have these. What is that? I don't know what that is. I think it's just concrete blocks. You're supposed to get written permission and all that, but in public, nah. But people have still got in their heads that you do. Now that's, part of me, when people go around and point that out, I do think it's healthier. At least the police, because a while ago, I was filming an event. This is before I was doing the YouTube thing. It was just pictures. And I had them all kicking off, going, oh, you need permission. This policeman thought you did. And I checked. Nope, you don't. You're allowed to do, if you take pictures of somebody, you can even sell it. But, whatever. Which is why I'm wondering, you might have noticed the Manchester police did this thing a few weeks ago where they arrested that bloke for filming women in public, going nightclubs. Well, I don't know if they've actually charged him. I think what they were trying to do with him was, I think they claimed he did upskirting, which is illegal. If they were fully naked and walking around, it wouldn't be. That's perfectly acceptable, but legally. It's just because it's, hang on. So it's like you'll see the naked bike riders. They whinge and go, oh, you can't film them, but you can. But maybe they'll change the law. I can't see it. I think there'll be too many problems trying to change the law, but they try to introduce. I'm still wondering if they've charged him, so they didn't have to make a big public spectacle and film him being put in the van, which I thought was, you know, quite disturbing for Manchester police. If they're charging him, it's one thing, but you might not agree with what he does, but you know, if it's legal. But obviously if it's did upskirting, that'd be the offence. But yeah, it might be sleazy, but hey ho, that's let's see, sun. Let's see. I'm losing track of what people are saying. And yeah, Billy Moore's really well. Like I said, he puts himself at risk. I mean, I watched the London ones. I wouldn't risk doing what he did. I'd be too nervous. It's all right if you've got a few of you, you know, but he does it by the looks of things on his own. When I've seen him, he's been on his own, and I think it's crazy. I'd have somebody with him. You know what I mean? Because people are drunk and on drugs and stuff. It's too easy. I mean, you could easily be robbed. I mean, he goes to these places where people are clearly out on drugs and there's a few of them. Well, it doesn't take 2 minutes for them to, you know, nick his gear off him. I mean, you can be the biggest bloke going, or woman. It's easy to be overpowered. I mean, that's the thing. You know, that I won't get in my head that. You know, it doesn't matter if you're the heavyweight boxer or a professional kickboxer. I mean, it helps. I mean, if you're like, you know, people have been in the army or in the army, I mean, a lot of them are quite strong, or kickboxers and stuff. They're, you know, trained to react, or maybe some martial arts. But I still wouldn't want to go around doing what he does without somebody behind me just to keep an eye on you, even if they're at a distance. I mean, it's like Charlie Veach, he does this and he doesn't seem to, if I was him, but I mean, you know, if I was them, I'd have a body cam on, like a GoPro, permanently. I don't know, but I doubt. Hang on, let's see. Jeez. I mean, the amount of times Charlie Veach has said, oh, I've just been assaulted. And you're thinking, well, why don't you have a GoPro on permanently? And then that way you record it, and it's, you know, it's like you can mix it. Or whatever. I mean, if you're ever doing these things, you really want to actually, I mean, people say to me, why do I have 2 cameras rolling? It's because it's for safety. I mean, unless you're really desperate. I mean, obviously, if you've gone out to the shops and something happens, you will only have the 1 camera. But, you know, if you're doing these things, and I've had people try and smack the cameras out of my hand. I mean, you've seen it with that woman, where she comes up and in this so-called left wing. I mean, she claims to be anti-fascist. Well, she was as fascist as they came. And she starts being funny and starts whacking the camera. Well, fortunately for her, the second camera recorded her. It was like that fat bloke who was also a bit pervert and tried rubbing himself against me and assaulting me. Again, knocks me down. But I've got 2 cameras rolling. You know, they can claim that, you know, whatever. I mean, that's the beauty of doing it live. I mean, they could run off with the camera. Well, I've recorded them doing it. Good luck. But anyway, yeah, it is. The Manchester's more interesting. The only downside to Manchester is you don't feel safe. I mean, I'm slightly not as feeling safe with all the, you know, it's not as bad in Leeds. There's a few homeless and stuff, and you don't think people are stood there going to rob you, but you still got to be careful. But in Manchester, we were there, News Now York. It was when I lost the car in Manchester. We were panicking. Well, I was panicking anyway. And he was going to rent a bike, and I said stop, because this bloke came up and he looked stoned, and I knew what his plan was. He was waiting for him to unlock this bike, and he was going to pinch it. And I says, don't get it. And I don't think he thought. I think he just thought the guy was just wanting to chat. And I says, no, that guy's going to steal the bike. And that's the trouble. And it wasn't that particularly late. It might have been actually. It might have been about 1 actually. Could have been quite late, but when you go into Manchester, you don't feel safe. There's two, it's like when you park up, it's like you're thinking, am I coming back? Is it going to be smashed up? Everything's pretty uncomfortable in Manchester. But oddly enough, when we filmed in just outside Manchester, was it? I forget. It was where the women speak. Quite an Asian area, but it felt safe. Quite nice. The town centre was nice. Shops were packed. Was it Rotherham? That I think it was Rotherham. It's quite a nice little town centre. Just felt much safer. But there was no, I didn't see anyone homeless on drugs. It was just strange. It seemed, even though it's only a few miles from Manchester, it felt a lot nicer. But you're starting to see, the shops have been closing for quite a while. It didn't help. Lockdown killed off all the businesses, and I don't think they've ever fully recovered. Some have, but I think a lot of people got put off the idea. They're sold up and they've moved. That's why I think things are getting worse and worse because of lockdown. It scared people. They realise that, you can lose your business straight away. People invested and they watched, people like pubs are getting loans for thousands just to keep going, and I think some of them went belly up. It became a point of, what was the point of working? Might have been Rochdale, I can't remember. It was the side of it was the side of Manchester facing Leeds. Could have been Rochdale, I get confused. They're all the same to me, but it was quite a nice little place, to be fair. Oh, if you go, there's they've got one. This bakery that you see everywhere, that famous for the sausage rolls. Well, they get in there cheap stuff that are just about to go out of date. But of course, my luck, News Now Yorkshire got a sandwich without realising it. We're buzzing, it was cheap. But obviously it was all meat. I didn't see one single vegetarian thing on offer. Otherwise I was going to get a few. But yeah, that's it is. It's got an interesting market. It's very Asian, but actually it was really nice. Everyone seemed friendly. Look at that. You go up there, that's a funny road. It's all 30 mile an hour, some annoying limit. And I've got a mate who lives at the top of there. As you go into, is it Shipley? And it's a pain to drive up. It's a nice place, but that road you just take forever. I've just thought, I hope traffic's going to be clear when I go. Look, I've done 2 hours. So it is this is what I used to do. Walk on here for a couple of hours and go to, there's an Asda just a few miles down, well, maybe a few minutes, and she give me her instructions about what to buy. Usually cigarettes, actually, that was usually it. Cigarettes, milk, and the priorities for somebody who doesn't smoke. It's a bit annoying being forced to buy cigarettes. But yeah, and then drop it off. Or take her, that was the worst bit. Then she'd say, oh, you can take me to Asda. Oh God, it was awful. Going around Asda. She'll pick up every item, I've said it before, her little thing is, and I hate going shops. She picks up every item and tells you the history. She'll say, oh, I don't like that. And you're going, oh, why? Thanks for telling me. And then she'll forget where things are, so we have to wander around 15 times. And then she'll do, oh, I might buy it tomorrow, this item, you can bring me back. I says, no, you can get it now. And saves me coming back tomorrow. She didn't mind. Oh yeah, it's all right, my fuel. Driving around Leeds all day long. Oh, what a nightmare. That was fun days. And then she'd want clothes. Oh, when she were buying clothes, she'd she'd say, oh, we're going on a works trip tonight. Oh God, and we'd have to walk around Asda for hours while she decides what the I mean, I don't know why she shouldn't just wear the same dress. She'd buy a dress and wear it once, and then she'd have to have a new one. Oh God, it was painful walking around. Oh God, glad she's moved. Say once a month, that's enough. She said, oh, you can move up near me. I thought, no, I'm quite happy. Once a month is enough. It's draining. I have to have a day off next day just to recover. It's a long day. We'll go round Sainsbury's and Morrison's near her, and then what's the other? We have to go into Homeborg. I think that's it. There's two near her. We have to go through it all. Oh God, just going round in circles, and then we have to go to buy big expensive bags of dog food at a specialist dog food place. I mean, she spends more on the dog food than I do each month on food. And it just woofs it down. Woof, woof, woof. Oh dear. Apparently she was puking up the dog as well the other day. She sent me a video. She was walking her at 4 a.m. Well, at least I had a nice walk. She had a nice walk, shouldn't call it a knit. But love that dog, but she's just so full of... Oh, I nearly walked into the water there. Oops. Hi. I won't feel safe cycling now on here. It's all right, actually. If you live in Bradford, it'd be quite... I bet it's quite quick to get to Bradford to Leeds. You won't bother with a car, you just cycle. I mean, that's the thing. If you got... I mean, especially if you've got an electric one, you'd be laughing. You won't want to be driving. Bradford to Leeds a nightmare. But if you live on the canal, you're laughing. If you work in Leeds City Centre, it's just this time of year. Do this in summer, you're laughing. It's it'd be a bit light, wouldn't it? Warm, going along in a t-shirt, especially if you've got an electric bike. I mean, you can cycle it anyway because it's so flat. You don't really need an electric bike, but a bit of power assist, it's going to be heaven, especially in the morning. Dear. Oh, is it? It says 0 watching. Right, I'm going to leave it there because I think the reception's died, so I don't know if it's up. If it's working. I think I've lost connection, but we'll see. So I'll end it there. Oh, just a chat, wasn't it, folks?